There's a bag of white crystals you can buy for about $5 that does the job of a dozen expensive products in your garden shed and under your sink. And the companies selling you all those pricey fertilizers, plant foods, and specialty cleaners are quietly counting on you thinking it's only good for one thing: a soak in the tub. I'm talking about Epsom salt. That bag you maybe bought once, used for a bath, and shoved to the back of a cupboard where it's been sitting ever since. But here's what nobody tells you. That same cheap bag can feed your plants, green up your lawn, scrub away grime, and fix problems all over your home and yard. And it does the job better than the products marketed for those exact things, for a tiny fraction of the price. And by the time we get to number 4, you're going to understand why this humble bag is one of the most useful things you can own. Number 2 is the one you've quietly spent real money on for years without ever thinking to reach for this instead. So stick around, because we're counting down 9 Epsom salt uses that go way beyond a bath. And number 6 is the one that's going to make you look at every grimy pot in your kitchen differently. Let's get into it. Number 9. The yellowing houseplant rescue. Let's start with a heartbreak every plant lover knows. You've got a houseplant you love, and lately the leaves are turning a sickly yellow, especially the older ones lower down, with the veins staying green while the rest fades. It looks like it's dying right in front of you. So you water it more, you move it around chasing sunlight, and it keeps getting worse. Here's what's usually really going on. That yellowing is very often a magnesium deficiency. Your plant is starved of a nutrient it desperately needs to make the green in its leaves, and most regular plant foods skimp on it. Epsom salt is almost pure magnesium sulfate, exactly what the plant is crying out for. Here's the fix. Dissolve 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt into a gallon of water and use it to water your struggling plant about once a month. The magnesium soaks in through the roots and helps the leaves rebuild their green. Plants that look like they were on their way out often perk right back up. A $5 bag doing what expensive plant foods couldn't. So your houseplants are saved. But number 8 takes that same power outside, to the part of your garden you've been babying all season with no results. Number 8. The tomato, pepper, and rose booster. If you grow tomatoes, peppers, or roses, this one's going to change your whole routine. You plant them, you water them, you wait, and you get spindly plants, small fruit, few flowers, and leaves curling or yellowing at the edges. So you buy the fancy fertilizers, the special tomato feed, the rose food in the expensive box, and your plants still underperform. Here's the secret those boxes don't put on the front. Tomatoes, peppers, and roses are heavy magnesium feeders. They burn through it fast, and when they run low, they can't produce big fruit or lush blooms. Epsom salt gives it straight to them. Mix 1 tablespoon into a gallon of water and water your plants with it every couple of weeks, or sprinkle a tablespoon around the base of each plant and water it in. The magnesium helps them produce more chlorophyll, which means more energy, greener leaves, bigger fruit, and more flowers. Gardeners who try this get more tomatoes off the same plant and roses that bloom like they never have before. So your garden's thriving. But number 7 is about the biggest, most expensive patch of green you own, and you've been dumping money on it for nothing. Number 7. The lush green lawn. Look out at your lawn. See the patchy spots, the tired yellow-green colour, the thin, struggling grass that never looks like the lush carpet you want. So you buy bag after bag of expensive lawn fertilizer, you spread it, and you get a brief flush of growth that fades right back to patchy and dull. A lot of lawns are quietly starved of magnesium, and that's what keeps them from getting deep, rich green. Epsom salt is a cheap way to feed it in. You can dissolve it and apply it with a sprayer, or sprinkle it and water it in well. The magnesium helps the grass produce more chlorophyll and take up other nutrients better, which greens it up and thickens it over time. It won't turn a desert into a golf course overnight, but as a cheap booster alongside good watering and mowing, it helps that green come in richer and fuller. A $5 bag doing what the pricey lawn products promise and don't deliver. So your lawn's greener. But number 6 leaves the garden entirely and heads into your kitchen, to a problem that's been beating your sponge for years. Number 6. The gentle scouring scrub. Here's the one I promised. That burnt-on, baked-on mess at the bottom of a pot. The stuck-on grease film on a pan. The stubborn grime on a stovetop or in a crusty casserole dish that laughs at your sponge and makes you soak it for days before scrubbing your arm off. So you buy those harsh, expensive abrasive cleaners and heavy-duty scrubbing powders full of fumes. You don't need them. Epsom salt is a natural, gritty abrasive. And unlike the harsh stuff, it scours off gunk without scratching up your cookware. Sprinkle a generous amount of Epsom salt onto the damp, stuck-on mess, then scrub with a sponge or brush. The crystals dig into the burnt-on grime and lift it away, while being gentle on the surface underneath. For really stubborn spots, add a squirt of dish soap to cut the grease at the same time. Then rinse thoroughly. Your pots and pans come clean without the harsh chemical cleaners, and for pennies, so your cookware's rescued. But number 5 uses that same scouring power on a room you scrub on your hands and knees and still can't get truly clean. Number 5. The bathroom tile and grout brightener. Look at the tile and grout in your bathroom. It started out clean and light, and now the grout lines are dark, dingy and grimy, with soap scum and build-up dulling the tiles. You scrub with a brush, you spray the foaming cleaners, and it barely lifts, because that grime has soaked down into the porous grout where a quick wipe can't reach. Here's a cheap combo that works. Mix Epsom salt with a little dish soap into a paste, scrub it into the grout lines and over the tile with an old toothbrush or a brush. Let it sit for a few minutes, then scrub again and rinse. The gritty salt digs the grime out of the grout while the soap cuts the greasy film on the tile. Your bathroom looks years newer without the expensive specialty grout products and their choking fumes. So your bathroom's brightened. But number 4. This is the one that explains the whole game, and why this cheap bag stayed so quiet while pricey products took the spotlight. Number 4. The pest barrier that costs almost nothing. Step out into your garden and look at the damage. Leaves with ragged holes chewed through them overnight. Whole seedlings vanished. Silvery slime trails across the soil in the morning. Slugs and snails, quietly destroying everything you've worked for while you sleep. So you go buy the pellets and the sprays, some with warnings that make you nervous around your pets, your kids, and the very food you're trying to grow. Here's the cheaper, gentler trick. Sprinkle a ring of dry Epsom salt around the base of the plants slugs and snails keep attacking, and along the edges of your beds. The coarse, gritty crystals are unpleasant for soft-bodied pests to crawl across, so it helps keep them off your plants, and as a bonus, it's adding a little magnesium to the soil at the same time. Refresh it after heavy rain, since water dissolves it away. And here's the bigger point, the one those product companies really don't want you connecting. This one cheap bag has now replaced your plant food, your lawn booster, your scouring powder, your grout cleaner, and your pest pellets. There's not much profit in a $5 bag that lasts for months and does a dozen jobs. There's a lot of profit in selling you a different pricey product for each one, so your garden's protected. But number 3 is about tools and hardware you own that are quietly rusting away, and the fix is almost too simple. Number 3, the grime and build-up remover for hard jobs. Look around your garage and yard. The grimy garden tools caked in dried dirt and sap. The crusty build-up on outdoor surfaces. The greasy, gritty messes that regular cleaners just smear around. You buy a different specialised product for each one, each in its own pricey bottle. Epsom salt's gritty, scouring power handles a lot of it. Make a thick paste of Epsom salt and a little dish soap, and use it to scrub down grimy garden tools, caked on dirt, and stubborn build-up. The crystals act like a gentle scouring pad, digging the gunk loose while the soap lifts away grease and sap. Scrub, then rinse and dry your tools well so they don't rust. It's the same scouring trick from your kitchen, just aimed at the dirty jobs outside. One cheap bag instead of a shelf of specialty cleaners. So your tools are clean. But number 2, this is the one people get genuinely annoyed about, because it's a comfort they've paid good money for, over and over, when the answer was in the cupboard. Number 2, the relaxing foot and body soak. Here's one you've quite literally spent money on. After a long day on your feet, they ache, they're tired, they're swollen from standing, and you want to just sink them into something soothing. So you buy the fancy foot soak products, the scented bath fizzes, the pricey little jars of spa crystals at the store. Here's the thing. Epsom salt is the main ingredient in most of those products anyway, dressed up with perfume and a much bigger price tag. Just dissolve a half cup of plain Epsom salt in a basin of warm water and soak your feet for 15 to 20 minutes. It's warm, soothing, and relaxing. And it's a fraction of the cost of the fancy stuff. You can add a cup or two to a warm bath the same way for a relaxing full-body soak after a hard day. One honest note here. This is about comfort and relaxation, not a medical treatment. So, if you've got a health condition, diabetes, or any concern about your feet, check with your doctor first. Enjoyed as simple relaxation, it's one of the cheapest little luxuries there is. So that's your comfort handled. But number one, this is the big one. The use that ties everything together and best explains why this $5 bag is quietly one of the most powerful things you own. Number one, the magnesium secret that makes your whole garden thrive. Here's the truth underneath all of this. So much of what makes a garden struggle, the pale leaves, the small fruit, the few flowers, the tired lawn, comes down to one hidden shortage: magnesium. It's one of the nutrients plants need most to build the green in their leaves and turn sunlight into growth. And it's exactly the thing so many soils and so many cheap fertilizers run short on. An Epsom salt is nearly pure magnesium, in a form plants can drink right up. That's the secret this whole video has been circling. Once you understand it, you stop seeing a bath product and start seeing a garden superfood that happens to cost $5. A general feed for the whole garden. A tablespoon dissolved in a gallon of water, used to water your beds, your containers, your struggling plants every few weeks, quietly corrects that hidden shortage across everything you grow. Greener leaves, better blooms, bigger harvests, all from the same cheap bag. The reason it works on your tomatoes is the same reason it works on your roses, your houseplants, and your lawn. One cheap bag, one powerful nutrient, working everywhere. And a quick, important safety note before we finish, because it matters. More is not better here. Too much Epsom salt can throw your soil out of balance, so stick to the modest amounts. Keep it away from kids and pets who might mistake it for something to eat, and rinse anything that touches food. Used smart, it's one of the most useful $5 things you'll ever own. And that's the whole story of Epsom salt, and exactly why it's so much more than a thing for the tub. All from one cheap bag that lasts for months and does the work of a dozen products. And the wild part? This is just the start. That same bag has a whole list of other uses I didn't even get to today, including a couple I think you genuinely wouldn't believe until you tried them yourself. So here's what I want you to do. Go check if you've got a bag of Epsom salt in the house right now. If you don't, grab one next time you're out. It's about $5, usually in the pharmacy or garden aisle. Then pick just one trick from this list. The yellowing plant, the tomato booster, the burnt-on pot, whatever's a problem for you this week, and try it. I promise you'll be surprised. And that's it from this video. If it saved you some money, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe so the next person finds it too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.